All right, so what's the deal, folks? Welcome back to the channel. So I want to go through this first depth chart with everyone and go over some of the key things that I'm looking at as I'm gonna make this bigger so we can look at everything. Uh, Starting with the wide receivers, we have Jarvis Landry. Devontae Parker is listed as a starter, but right now he's still banged up. And Kenny Stills is the third receiver. Left tackle Brandon Albert, praying and hoping that he can stay healthy. Right tackle is Jawan James. Billy Turner is right now listed as a starter at right guard. Mike Pouncey is the starter at center. And motherfucking Dallas Thomas is our starting starting left guard. I don't even know what to say about that. Jordan Cameron is our tight end. Ryan Tannehill's quarterback. Jay Ajayi, J Train, which a lot of people are surprised, is a starter over Arian Foster, who they said has looked decent. So those are our offensive starters. And then you go to the defensive side of the football. Cam Wake is the starter at defensive end. Now, if I remember correctly, in the offseason, they were saying that Cam Wake was just going to be a third down player. And lo and behold, he's a starter. That scares me. That scares the shit out of me right there, considering that he just came off of a season-ending injury and he's a starter right now. Sue, I've heard he has looked like an absolute freak in this offseason and in these practices, first few practices. Earl Mitchell, I've heard that he's getting pushed a lot by Jordan Phillips. That's a very good thing. Competition is a very good thing. I don't see how competition can be a bad thing. So I'm very happy with that. And then you have Mario Williams, who I'm praying that we get high quality, get 9-10 sacks from Mario Williams. I'm hoping that that's the case. You get that from Williams. You get some production from Andre Branch. And then you bring in who I don't even see him on the step chart, which another thing that scares me because I don't even think he's practicing yet. I know he just got I'm talking about the linebacker, defensive end that was reinstated. I forget his fucking name. But I want to see him somewhere in this mix, and I don't see him as of yet. Jason Jones is the backup. Linebacker, we have Koamisi. Kiko Alonso is the starter in the middle, and Jelani Jenkins. There is a lot of ifs on this defense, man. And then you go to cornerback, you got Byron Maxwell. That's an if. Tony Lippett is an if. The safeties are pretty solid. Then Chimity Chikawa, who actually ended up getting hurt in a practice a couple days ago. Bobby McCain, we cut this guy. I don't even know how to say his fucking name, but we cut him. I like Neville Hewitt. I would like to see him play. He's a little smallish, a little on the smaller side. But in those final few games of last year, he looked decent as a linebacker. So I would like to see him get more playing time. But this defense, to me, is a lot of ifs. We don't have a number one cornerback in this. I don't see it. Unless Tony Lippett is able to step up and be that number one cornerback, which I really hope so. He's a huge cornerback at 6'3", 194 pounds. If you remember back in the draft, I was really saying a lot of great things that I wanted to see from Tony Lippett. I hope I'm right. I hope he becomes the freak that I think he's able to become with the ball skills. He was a wide receiver in slave ball. So I really hope that he's able to bring it because we're going to need it. Jordan Lucas, I've heard he has looked absolutely awful in practice. Heard horrible things about him. I heard he's just getting burnt all the fucking time. No surprise with Walt Aikens and Michael Thomas. You know what I mean? I think Walt Aikens was the guy out there last year, and that didn't work out very well for us. So I mean, this defense has a lot of holes. I've heard the offense has looked like shit so far, but the thing is that normally normally in practice a defense is ahead of the off, like in the first few practices as we jump this shit off. Normally the defense is always ahead of the offense, so that's nothing that I'm just alarmed by. Oh my god, I can't. Yeah, because the defenses normally are ahead of the offenses, but man, if we don't get this shit corrected, we're gonna look awful again. And we better. I'm praying Laramie Tunsil is able to get in here. See, in the offseason, this is what I thought was going to happen. I thought we were going to put Brandon Albert at one tackle. I thought we would put Tunsil over here. Maybe push. I heard Billy Turner could be a center. Put Billy Turner at center and slide Mike Pouncey to guard, and then get this guy the fuck out of here. So that would be. Hold on, let me make sure I got this right now. You put Brandon Albert at one tackle. You put the rookie Tunsil out here. You move Billy Turner to here and move Mike Pouncey over to guard, and then you're able to either slide Juwan James in at guard or Bushrod at guard or one of those guys, but anybody but Dallas Thomas. That motherfucker's awful. He is fucking awful. He's the worst offensive lineman we have on this team right now, to be perfectly honest. But this guy has to stay healthy. This guy has to stay healthy. And these guys, I mean, I expect big things from Landry and Parker. I really do. I expect big things. He better stay fucking healthy. And then Kenny Stills, I expect some good things from him as well. But, yo, I can't believe Thomas Duarte is this far down on the depth chart. I expected him to be rising, fighting with Deion Sims for the second position. I'm surprised. And then you got Jakeem Grant, who I don't know where they're gonna put him at. There was one practice where Devontae Parker was out and Leonte Carroll was actually out there with Jarvis Landry as the starter. So, and a lot of people have been raving about Jakeem Grant's just on the field, how fast he is and how good he is in space. I would love to see a couple gadget plays with him in space, especially screens. Get a screen and get some offensive linemen in front of him. He's 5'7", so he'll be incredibly hard to find behind those big 6'5" offensive linemen. Get Grant out in space with a couple offensive linemen where they can't find him because he's behind those big ass offensive linemen, and that's gonna be some hell. I'm just worried about his ability to take them big hits out there. I'm bigger than this fucking guy. He's 5'7", 172 pounds. That's real light. That's Deshaun Jackson light. But he's got burners. So I would love to see him out in space. So there's a lot of things that we can do with this offense, man. Oh yeah, and I didn't check the special teams. Of course, Andrew Franks is a kicker. Matt Darr is the punter. We still got Landry back there returning kicks. So why in the fuck did we? Well, Grant and Williams are the backups, but I don't want my number one receiver out there returning kicks and punts. I thought that was the whole point why we drafted Jakeem Grant. Remember? I don't understand that. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You got your number one receiver out there fucking returning kicks. That's a recipe for fucking disaster. That makes no sense to me. I want to see, pieces. I'm not necessarily that we don't need Jakeem Grant, but I mean, Jarvis Landry is a 100-catch guy. I don't want to see him out there catching returns unless the only way I want to see Jarvis Landry returning kicks is if we're in a playoff game and the game's on the line and you want to make sure that your best, most sure-handed punt returner is back there to return. They put him out there, and in that case, I'll go, okay, all right. Game's on the line. We're in the playoffs. Let's put Landry back there to make sure that we have somebody sure-handed returning that kick. I can dig that. But just to stick him back there just for the fuck, no, man. No, hell no. Don't put our best receiver back there to return no fucking kicks unless we absolutely need it. So yeah, this is the first depth chart of the year. It's our first depth chart of the year, and I gotta tell you, especially on the defensive side of the ball, there is a lot to be afraid of. I like being optimistic as a fan, but there's a lot to be afraid of. You look in this secondary, Maxwell, Tony Lippett. There's a lot to be afraid of out there. If Kiko Alonso, that motherfucker gets hurt stepping off the plane for the game. So it's like, fuck, man. Between our linebackers and our cornerbacks, a lot to be afraid of. And then you go to the defensive line. Cameron Wake, season-ending injury last year. He comes back. He's starting. He's good enough to start after a season-ending injury over guys who were perfectly healthy. Over Branch, over Fede. And I'm not saying that those guys should be, but at this point right now, what is he, 34, 35, something like that? For him to come back off a season-ending injury and start over guys who've been perfectly healthy, that's a problem. To me, that is a major problem. The defensive side of the ball has major question marks. Not to say that the offensive side doesn't cough Thomas trash, but the defensive side is where my major question marks are. If we get it right now, don't get it twisted. If these guys are able to step up, Lippett and Maxwell are able to step up, we'll be fucking Seattle big out there. Especially at cornerback. That's fucking Seattle big. Not quite, because Brandon Browner is bigger than 6'1", but that's Seattle big out there at corner. I love big cornerbacks. I love fucking big corners. I made videos about this before on my channel. I absolutely love big cornerbacks because the worst thing I hate seeing is fucking offenses being able to play jump ball because you've got 5'9" cornerbacks out there trying to guard 6'2", 6'3", 6'4" wide receivers. So I love big cornerbacks. But these guys have got to get this shit right, man. I have no idea. We have got to get this shit right. Yeah, she's from that show. Anyway, folks, I am out of here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. This is the Dolphins' first depth chart. Let me check my comment section because I did not check it this whole video. Let's see what we're talking about. This is the Dolphins' first depth chart. Where's Bobby McCain? Bobby McCain should be in Tony Lippett's spot. I honestly think that Tony Lippett has more upside than Bobby McCain. Bobby McCain is a 5'11", 192-pound cornerback. Tony Lippett at 6'3". What is Tony Lippett is 6'3", and I think he's he's almost 200 pounds. So he's a big boy with some ball skills because he played wide receiver. So if I'm a coach and I got that kind of an athlete out there, I want to see what we can get out of him. He's a huge cornerback. So I would probably put him out there before I put Bobby McCain out there as well. I mean, if all else fails, I would probably rather see Bobby McCain out there instead of Byron Maxwell. Because Byron Maxwell isn't that much bigger than him. Do you think if Walt Aikens is not starting safety, he should try cornerback? I've heard that before. I've heard that was a possibility, but we shall see. We shall see. I mean, I didn't like him very much at safety last year. We shall see if they'll be able to slide him in at cornerback. He's a How big is Walt Aikens? Walt Aikens is 6'11". Well, 6'11". God damn, that's a center. Walt Aikens is 6'1", 218 pounds. I'm just wondering if this coaching staff wants to be big and physical at the line of scrimmage. That's my question. Because when you're going out there and you're facing the Patriots this year, and they've got those fucking two tight end sets and those wide receivers, you want, to me, the way you really beat the Patriots is you get physical at the line of scrimmage. You don't give Edelman a free release. You don't give Gronkowski a free release. You don't give Bennett a free release. You're in their face, and you try to fuck up the timing of that offense. To me, that's the way you beat. That's the way I've always seen them beaten. When Baltimore beat their ass in the playoffs, they got physical at the line of scrimmage and they slowed them down. Yeah, I said 6'11". Yeah. All right. What time? Damn, it's 12:36. I don't lost track of time. Anyway, man, I am out of here. I'm so sad that the fucking football game got canceled, man. I was racing home thinking I'm about to watch a football game. I walk in and I'm seeing memes. I'm seeing Steve Harvey memes and shit. I'm like, you bastards. But yeah, I would rather see the game get canceled than to put the players out there and they tear up a knee or some shit like that. It's bad enough that you know it's gonna happen. You know, like some pivotal piece of a team is gonna get fucked up in a preseason game. It's almost inevitable. It always happens every single year. If I'm not mistaken, there was already one guy who got hurt in practice. He's out for the. Oh yeah, I did a video about the tight end. He's probably gonna be out for the season. So, I mean, you take every single safety precaution you can, and I mean, as a fan, did I want to see the game? Yes, I did. But as a human being, I don't want to see these guys go out there and get messed up. Anyway, man, I am done with this video. Gonna call it a night. Can't wait to see some real football action, man. Tired of seeing these freaking clips from training camp. Ready to see some real football. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed to the channel. Hard Hit Sports in your face.